Adjectives are words that describe or modify another person or thing in the sentence. The articles a and the are the adjectives. Keep it in mind, adjectives modify noun or pronoun basically. Few examples are provided for further assistance. The tall professor, the lugubrious lieutenant, a solid commitment, a month's pay, a 6-year-old child, the unhappiest, richest man. All these are the examples, all these underlined words are the example of adjectives. The tall qualifies the term professor, that is a noun. The lugubrious, that qualifies lieutenant, while solid qualifies commitment, and further all the words qualify the next noun or the pronoun. Position of adjectives. Unlike adverbs, which often seem capable of popping up almost anywhere in a sentence, adjectives nearly always appear immediately before the noun or noun phrase that they modify. As I told you, adjectives modify noun or noun phrases. Sometimes they appear in a string of adjectives, and when they do, they appear in a set order according to category. When infinite pronouns such as something, someone, anybody are modified by an adjective, the adjective comes after the pronoun. Anyone capable of doing something horrible to someone nice should be punished. So you can see anyone capable of doing something horrible, someone nice. All these are the example of adjectives. Something wicked, this way comes. Next, degrees of adjectives. Now in this video we will not discuss about the detail of adjectives that we basically know. Instead we will go further for degrees of adjectives. Adjective can express degrees of modification. Gladys is a rich woman, but Josie is richer than Gladys, and Sadie is the richest woman in the town. The degrees comparison are known as the positive, comparative and superlative. Actually, only the comparative and superlative show degrees. We use the comparative for comparing two things and the superlative for comparing three or more things. Be sure that the word then frequently accompanies the comparative and the word the precedes the superlative. The inflected suffixes er and est suffice to form most of the comparative and superlatives. Although we need IER, IEST when a two-syllable adjective ends in Y, just like happy, happier, happiest. Otherwise, we use more and most when an adjective has more than one syllable. Just like beautiful, we cannot use. Just like beautiful, we cannot use separately. Just like beautifuler, it is wrong. We have to use more or most beautiful, and that ends with Y, we use IER or IEST. So these are the basic things that you already know. Formation of comparative adjectives. There are two ways to make or form a comparative adjectives. Short adjectives add er, long adjectives use more. Short adjectives add er, long adjectives use more. Beautiful, a long adjective, while happy, a short adjective, so happier, and beautiful, a long adjective that will take more beautiful. Some example of short adjectives, syllable adjectives, old and fast, it will be older and faster. Two syllable adjectives ending in Y, ly, ow, la, happy, easy, readsily, hilly, holly, hollow, swallow, shallow, melville, simple, ripe, normal, rule. Right, the normal rule is add er, old, older variation. If the adjective ends in e, just add r, late or later variation. You can take the screenshot of this one to go through this one thoroughly. Just like two syllables adjectives, modern, comma, pleasant, modern. pleasant. All adjectives of 3 or more syllables. Expensive, intellectual. The normal rule is use more or less, just like more modern, less modern. The following are some of the adjectives with irregular form. Good, better. Well is also better. Bad is worse. Far, farther. Ill is also considered worse. With 2 syllable adjectives, we can use either ear or more. Quiet, quieter, more quiet. Cleverer, more clever. Use of comparative adjectives. Comparative adjectives are used to compare two things if both items of comparison are mentioned in the sentence. The comparative adjectives is followed by then examples. John is 1 meter 85. He is tall, but Chris is 1 meter 90. He is taller than John. So two persons are being compared. China is big, but Russia is bigger. I want to have a more powerful computer. Is Croatian more difficult than English? Note 1. Although we use comparative adjectives when talking about two things, not three or more, in fact one or both of the things may be a group of things. Mount Everest is higher than all other mountains. Here we are comparing Mount Everest with all other mountains. You can say that already we have three or more than three, but here one is compared to another group, so we can consider it as two. When we compare one thing with itself, we do not use the. England is coldest in winter. My boss is most generous when we get a big order. These are the exceptions, not examples. We can use the superlative adjectives when talking about three or more things, not two things. John is 1 meter 75. David is 1 meter 80. Chris is 1 meter 85. Chris is the tallest, so we have three here. Canada, China and Russia are big countries, but Russia is the biggest. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Once again, we'll just repeat or continue this one, degree of comparison. So we have basically 3 degrees of comparison: positive, comparative, superlative degree. Now we have 3 degrees of comparison. So we'll just go through this one again. Positive degree of comparison, just keep it in mind, we basically use as, and if the sentence is negative, we use so as. Just like August is handsome, my shirt is as big as yours, Amir is the same as Buddy, my house is not as expensive as your, Anita is different from Ilya. So you can see we have used the term as, and if the sentence is negative, we should use so as. Just like this one, my house is not as expensive, it's better to use so expensive. Comparative degree of comparison, what we do, use er or more or less, then we use the term than. Just like smaller than the bus, Michael is more handsome than John, Michael is handsomer than John is wrong. Irfan Bashdream is more famous than Bambang Pamukkos. Agus is cleverer than Andika. The car is the most impulsive one, that is the superlative one. So you can see we have used than after that particular degree. Superlative degree takes est or most, and but we have to use the term the before all this. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Egan is the cleverest student. Obama is the most famous president. Anissa is the most beautiful model. So all these cases we have used the before this particular term. Regular comparison and irregular comparison. Regular comparison: small, smaller, smallest, high, higher, highest, old, older, oldest, old, elder, eldest, expensive, more expensive, most expensive, careful, more careful, most careful. Now irregular: good, better, the best, bad, worse, the worst, many, much, more, more, little, less, least, far, farther, farthest, far, farther, farthest. Now go through these 2 worksheets and try to answer these things out by your own. If possible, take screenshots. Thank you very much.